This is Daniel Gutierrez, insideBIGDATA's managing editor and resident data scientist. I'm here at the DataWorks Hadoop Summit in beautiful Silicon Valley. We'll be talking today to Larry and Vineet from Impetus Technologies. Why don't you give us an overview of Impetus Technologies as a company and also what problems your products solve?
Be happy to do that, Daniel. Thank you for asking. We're here at DataWorks Summit, as Daniel said, and we've been at every DataWorks and previously known as Hadoop Summit since the inception. And the reason for that is that Hadoop last year celebrated its 10th anniversary, and we've been working in Hadoop for 10 years. Cloudera, Hortonworks, the distribution vendors didn't exist back when we started doing R&D in our labs, led by Vineet Tyagi, our Chief Technology Officer, back in the early days of big data analytics. What we're featuring here at this show this year are three basic areas. The first over here is what we call Visual Spark Studio. One of the things we're featuring here at DataWorks 2017 this year is our product StreamAnalytix. StreamAnalytix is a platform for accelerating Spark in the enterprise. We started out by applying a very powerful visual IDE to real-time streaming analytics use cases. We have since expanded that to also now being able to address batch use cases. There are a number of products in the marketplace today that address the creation of streaming analytic use cases. We've now gone beyond that. Most of those focus on the ingestion of streaming data. We now have a capability through the Visual Spark Studio to actually address the full life cycle of these use cases from ingest all the way through 7 different stages of the life cycle. We're not aware of any other companies that are able to do that for both streaming use cases and batch use cases, and that's why we like to say Visual Spark Studio is a strategy for accelerating Spark in the enterprise. One of the other things we're emphasizing at this show is actually a sister company that was spawned out of Impetus called Kyvos Insights. Kyvos Insights has developed a massively scalable BI on Hadoop solution. And I'd love to introduce Ajay Anand, who is the Vice President of Product Management and Marketing for Kyvos Insights. And Ajay, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about how customers have reacted to what you're offering here today at this show.
Oh, the response has been great. And that's primarily because we solve a core problem for most customers that are moving to big data. The first thing people do when they move data into a data lake is how do you expose this to business users so you can start getting return on investment for this big data strategy. And what we do is eliminate the barrier for the business user to really get access fast from this data and get immediate response time using the BI tools that they're already comfortable with, such as Excel or Tableau or MicroStrategy or any other tool. So they can continue to use their existing tools, but now have all this data available to them with instant response. And trying to do this with traditional SQL on Hadoop has not proven to work out because it takes a long time to run SQL queries. With us, we eliminate that barrier.
So Vineet, can you give us an overview of the messaging that you're having for Hadoop Summit this week, specifically how it relates to data lakes?
Yeah, Daniel, I think there are two important things that we are saying and we are realizing. We've been migrating customers from the enterprise data warehouses over to big data lakes for the last 10 years. And we have been repeatedly doing that, 20 plus large migrations that we've done. So we have been doing it for a while, and what we have realized is there is a repeatable framework that we could create out of that. So the message that we are giving out at the show for the industry in general is that working with customers, we have realized that the true power of big data is in advanced analytics. And advanced analytics is all about, these days machine learning, bringing in deep learning, artificial intelligence to really drive the business value. And that requires a ton of data. That has to be backed with a ton of data. So there is a problem and the challenge of moving data which was locked up in the silos in the enterprise data warehouses into the data lake. And that problem, to be honest, that has been solved. We do that automatically. There are other tools also do that. However, there is a very big, value that has been locked into the enterprise data warehouses, and that is the analytical workloads that have been created over the last 20 years. That is your business logic, your business value that has been built around the data that enterprises have been acquiring, and the challenge remains as to how to take and unlock that analytical workloads and make them work on the big data, right? We have solved that challenge, right? Now the challenges that enterprises are facing in unlocking the value with the workloads are they typically don't have the expertise and the skill sets which are required to do these manual migrations, which are sometimes can be huge. The second challenge that enterprises face in doing this migrations are that when they want to unlock this analytical workload, there is no repeatable framework that they can employ as a best practice to drive what they're out to do, right? And the third thing is agility. There is always a long process that takes 6 months and upwards of 12 months and many years sometimes with a large number of people to actually take what has been built over the last 15-20 years into the big data lake, right? What we have created with our data warehouse modernization is a strategy that we call lift, shift, and transform. And what we have created and we are bringing as a differentiation to the enterprise, in fact, we are the only ones who has this product, is that we are able to bring repeatable framework and we have coded that into an automation. We have a product that allows us to take these workloads, unlock them, and migrate them onto native big data warehouse technologies like Hive or Spark SQL or Spark Scala code. And that is what we are offering here in this show today, and that's what our biggest differentiation is.